people and given to the people, not we're going to circumvent the insurance companies. Partially as a result, rural health care facilities have suffered from low occupancy rates, workforce shortages, and failing programs that put Band-Aids, literally put Band-Aids over the problems in those communities, and we're not going to have that. We're taking great care of them. With the Rural Health Transformation Program, we are getting rural communities the health support they need, and we're getting it immediately. These funds will go to empowering rural hospitals, strengthening their workforce, modernizing facilities and technology, and ensuring that rural Americans get world-class health care in their own community, right smack in their own community, like they've never had it before, and they've been hurt very badly by the Unaffordable Care Act. Every single Democrat in Congress voted against the lifeline for rural communities, and I hope everyone knows this, and this is not about elections, but I hope you remember this in the midterms, because the Democrats are just so horrible toward the rural community. But I want to take a moment to thank the incredible House and Senate Republicans who worked so hard on making this historic investment possible. That's what they did, and they did work hard. I don't think, got a Democrat vote, did we? Did we get one Democrat vote? We got all Republican votes. It was an amazing feat, and I want to thank Mike, our Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and John Thune for really doing a great job. It was tough. You know, we have small majorities, and I want to thank the congressmen that are here for doing, in particular, for working so hard and getting this done. Yesterday, I also announced our framework to lower health care prices for all Americans, including those in rural America. And we're calling it the Great Health Care Plan. You know, we had to come up with a name, and everybody wanted to say, oh, well, can we put something about lowering costs, because we're lowering costs very substantially.
Taxes was feeling unwelcome. Now Taxes is an open door to new TurboTax stores. Meet our experts. They do your taxes, so you can walk out.
And that gives you good health care. And I said, it's too long. It's not going to sell. I said, we had more plans. And they wanted to get the words cost reduction in their law, especially you. They wanted cost reduction in, and then they wanted great health care in. I said, look, you can have one or the other, but it gets too long. We're talking about the name of a plan. So we got it down to 7 or 8 words, and which is far too long. Nobody can remember that much. And I said, how about just call it, because this is the Great Healthcare Plan. Now, a great plan has to be cost-effective, otherwise it can't be a great plan. That's the way I looked at it. So we have a very glamorous name. It's called the Great Healthcare Plan, not the Unaffordable Care Act. I don't like that name. This is called officially the Great Healthcare Plan. That means low price and great healthcare. So you're going to have, at a lower price, great healthcare. First, our proposal codifies the massive discounts on prescription drugs that my administration is achieving through our most favored nation provisions. Okay, we can go into this. We can go into this for hours, but the bottom line is we'll be paying the lowest price of any nation in the world. Whoever's paying the lowest, we match it. This could have been done years ago. I was going to do it in my first administration, but when COVID came toward the end, I said, I can't believe it wasn't it wasn't exactly a good time to be doing it. But I said, why isn't somebody doing it? And the reason they're not doing it is that no other nation would agree. France, as an example, paid 10% of what we paid. Germany was paying 13 or 14% what we paid. In other words, we paid many times more, not a little bit more, not 10% more, 10 times more. A pill would cost 10 times more in New York than it would cost in London, as an example, than it would cost in Munich. And this went on for many decades. This was right from the beginning. And the reason it went on was a little bit of the healthcare companies, but it was other nations, and I understand that. If I were heading Germany, I'm not going to double and triple and quadruple my healthcare. They got the healthcare companies to pay, just took place over a long period of time, got worse and worse, and it just hit numbers that were just absolutely unsaleable. And if you remember, The doctors in the audience remember they say, well, we have to do research and development. I said, well, what about research and development for Germany? Well, we've decided to put up so the pill would cost 5 times more because of research and development and 5 times more for other reasons. They had all these phony reasons. And
But to
finally,
make
they said
sure
to the
that
healthcare companies,
it's healthy to put to
can't do
take
it
or something
anymore.
or what?
We can't do it. And it started, really, I tell the story. It wasn't meant to be funny. People find it funny. But a friend of mine who's a very smart guy, very, very rich, very powerful man. Actually,
Very rich, very powerful, very smart. Huh?
but he's very fat. And he took the fat, I call it the fat drug. I won't give you which one. It was Ozempic. I won't tell you that. And he went to London on one of his many business trips. It's all he does is business. He can't walk across the street, but he's a great businessman. And he said, President, President. I said, what? He used to call me Donnie. Now he calls me President. So I said, you've come a long way. He goes, but I have a problem. What's your problem? In New York, I pay $1,300 for this drug. Now, this means nothing to him. This is like a penny out of your wallet. The guy's worth hundreds of millions, billions of dollars. He said, and in London, sir, I pay just a fraction of that. I said, what are you paying? $87. I said, well, is it the same drug? I knew exactly what he was getting at because it bothered me for a long time. He said, it's the exact same drug. And because of his wealth and his business smarts, he had it checked. It was made in the same plant by the same company. It's identical. And here I pay $87, and in New York I pay $1,300. So
Damn.
it was
Talking
too much
about
to bear.
inflation.
Because after I told him
I ain't
that,
gonna lie, y'all. I wouldn't try to use my insurance as my ear. I got a blown eardrum in my left ear, right? I went to the doctor, check up. And so they say my eardrum blown and stuff. So I had to reschedule my doctor appointment because the insurance I had switched up on me. And they had a co-payment I had to pay. I'm like, oh man, like y'all could have told me this before I came here. I usually didn't have a copay. Well, I got a copay, so yeah, I couldn't have to reschedule my shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't rich or nothing like that, so I had to do what I had to do. And hopefully it don't get too bad before
because I saw him recently,
I have to
he's
go.
actually fatter than ever. I said, the drug is not working on you. You're going to have to go to something else. But it does work on a lot of people. And he said, thanks, you make me feel good. I said, well, I got to be truthful. You always tell the truth, right, Mr. Congressman? Oh, look, two of the great congressmen. But the drug, we have to do something about it because that's the same with I would say, Bobby, every drug, essentially. Doesn't have to be in that proportion. In some cases, it's much worse. Because what happened, I might as well get off this crap because it doesn't explain it properly. Because what happened is these countries are very smart, and the drug companies would go to them and they said, look, we're paying $10 for the pill. We're not paying more. Charge America. And this happened one time, then the next year. This is over 40 years. All of a sudden, they're paying $10 for a pill, and we're paying like $130 for the same pill.
That's crazy.
It just
If that's
happened
any truth to
slowly.
it, that's crazy.
And it got to a point over the last 10,
That's
12,
crazy as
15
hell.
years where it just was unbearable. And I went to a great executive at Eli Lilly, the top man. He's a very smart guy. And I confronted him, and he had the same line that they always had, blah, 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 research and development. I said, look, we got to stop this nonsense. We're paying 10 times more for things in Europe. It's not research and development. And if it is research and development, they should pay their fair share of that too. And he said to me, and he's a great guy, he said, look, you're right, we can't defend it anymore. I said, you're admitting it? Because these guys had all of them. They must have taken a class together. Must have been, it's probably illegal what they did, Lola, you'll check it, right? They must have gone to school together and said, this is the way we're going to fight this crazy thing where the United States pays 10, 12, 13 times more for a drug. Same drug made in the same plant. And he said, here's the problem we have. The nations are brutal. When we go in and say, we have to give you an increase, they say, no, put it on America, we're not paying you anything. And they say it with such power, and they actually shut us off from selling the drug. And it just happened over and over again. It got a little worse, a little worse, a little worse. All of a sudden, we're paying many times more for the same. They said, well, it's not going to happen anymore. He said, the problem is, sir, you'll never get the nations to agree. It's impossible. They're very tough, and they are. And they'd have to agree to a doubling or tripling of their drug prices in order to get you down, because the world is a bigger place than us. So it's not like you cut it in half. Actually, if they raised it a little bit, we'd go down a lot. You understand that? I think people understand that. So you raise it like from $10 to $20 or $10 to $30, but we'd go from 130 down to 30 or down to 20. So, because the numbers are much bigger, the numbers on their side are much bigger. So they need a doubling or tripling or quadrupling. Now, if you're the head of France, the last thing you want to do is say, I'm going to quadruple the cost of a drug. And that's the way it is. But I said, I know, but it's not fair. And this is taking place. And the head of Eli Lilly, and I really mean it, an unbelievable executive, unbelievable guy, one of the most successful companies, and who's, by the way, spending hundreds of billions of dollars right now. He's building, he told me the other day, he's building 6 major plants in the United States. You know why he's doing that? Because of tariffs. He's doing that because of tariffs. Without tariffs, he wouldn't be doing it. Nobody understood tariffs until I came along. Nobody understood, other than President McKinley. He understood them a long time ago. And because of him, we were the richest nation that we ever were at that period of time. And then when he died, he was assassinated. Teddy Roosevelt.
Vistaprint prints everything to get your brand in front of your fans, like t-shirts, water bottles, and totes, so everyone can gift it, work in it, and take it. Whether it's one of a kind or one for your whole team, if you need it, we print it with 20% off for new customers at Vistaprint.com.
States, relatively. We spent what would be the equivalent of $5 trillion building the Panama. It was also the most successful thing probably we've ever built, and to this day. And then Jimmy Carter gave it away for $1. This is the same theory we have on favored nations. The great Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter, gave it away for $1. We lost 38,000 men. In those days it was men. I hate to say this, but mostly men. They didn't have a lot of women workers on the Panama Canal. But we lost 38,000 people. They died from malaria and snake bites. It was a combination of that, a vicious snake, one of the most vicious. You get hit, you're dead. They died from snake bites. 38,000. They paid workers from the United States 3 times more than they made to come over to Panama and dig. For many of them, that was not a good deal. They died, 38,000. We gave it away for them. But that same stupidity having to do with the Panama Canal, and I could tell you about 100 other stories too. You don't have time. But that's what went into
No, you don't have
this
time.
whole thing with favored nations.
You don't have time.
So Europe
but yeah.
and other nations all over the world were getting drugs from the same plant, same factory, same everything, same location, everything, same company, for a tiny fraction of what we're paying. So our people were paying a tremendous amount. So the gentleman from Eli Lilly and others, we had a meeting, and they all finally put up their hands. You got us. We give up. And they were great from that time. But we had a problem. The other nations weren't going for it. France turned it down. Germany turned it down. UK turned it down. European Union turned it down, the whole group. And they said, there's nothing you can do about it, sir. And I said, yes, there is. No, there isn't. You'll never be able to get them up. Or never. I mean, the whole industry is going to be torn apart. I said, we'll get them up easily. Are you crazy? Of course we'll get them up. That's what I do for a living. I get people up. So I started with President Macron of France, and a very nice person. I like him a lot. I hope he's listening because he doesn't believe that, but I do. He's a nice man. And I said, Emmanuel, yes, Donald, thank you so much for calling. I said, you're not going to like this call. You're going to have to get your drug prices up. No, I will not do that. I said, Emmanuel, we're paying 13 times more than, 13 times, not 13%, 13 times more than you offer. this pill. I rattled off some numbers that are crazy. You know the numbers I'm talking about, Oz. Oz would give me some numbers. I'd say, this is crazy. We're paying 10 times, 12 times, 13 times. No, I will not do that. I said, look, you've got to do it. 100% you're going to do it. No, Donald, I told you I will not do that. They said, here's a story manual. If you don't do it, I'm going to put a 25% tariff on all goods, wine, champagnes, and everything else coming into the United States of America. He said, Donald, I would love to do this for you. It would be a great honor to do it. And that's where it began. And I went through country after country. Susie was responsible for getting every one of those leaders on the thing. Susie, by the way, stand up, Susie. She is doing such a good job.
Let me see Susie. Where's Susie at?
She's the first.
Oh, yeah, Susie. Show Susie. I want to see
She's the
Susie.
first female chief of staff. And she might be the best chief of staff, too. But she's doing a great job. Thank you, Susie. So, Susie.
Let me see you, Susie. Well,
Susie
yeah,
got
Susie.
'em on. And I just went one after another.
Let me see you,
Germany.
Susie.
No, we will not do that. They said, no, we're going to put a 25% tariff, which is, by the way, about 7 times more than they would have to pay by raising their drug. Like 7 times. This wasn't like a little bit more. 7 times more. And I may do that for Greenland, too. I may put a tariff on countries if they don't go along with Greenland, because we need Greenland for national security. So I may do that. I'll give you a little. I'll take you out of that. In fact, that'll end up being the story. But actually, this is a much bigger story because we're reducing healthcare by numbers that you haven't seen. So I spoke to the top 10 countries. They all said no, and within about 2 minutes, they all agreed. And we were off to the races. And now we have favored nations. It's called most favored nations. So if France is paying, let's say, $20 or $30 instead of $10, we are going to pay that 20 or 30. We pay the lowest price, whatever the lowest price is. So if France is paying $100, but Germany's paying $20, we pay what Germany pays. So we go from a horrible situation on drugs, prescription drugs, to the lowest price anywhere in the world. Is that a correct statement, Oz? Because they're going to blame you. If you want to correct me, you can, but you won't be here for long if you do. They'll
You're
say,
correct, Mr.
Oz has
President.
left employment. But is that a correct
God
statement?
damn.
That's an absolutely correct statement. And that's what we want to codify in the great healthcare plan.
Yeah.
That's
what
why
we're
it's so important.
codifying. That's
Because if
right.
the president's not here, there's a flight risk with these companies not obliging us anymore, because I think it's the strength of your personality, but also they know they will follow through with the threats if we don't act. So we believe other countries will change their opinions, and so will drug companies. So we've got to get it into legislation.
Well, if you have the wrong president, the countries have tremendous influence over us. They look. Why did we go to an income tax system instead of a tariff system? The wealthiest nation. If you go back to the 1800s, 1887, we had money, so much money, we didn't know what to do with it. But the countries at that time, no different. They have a tremendous influence over this country for whatever reason. I don't know, but they do. So if you have the wrong president, they'll change the system in 2 minutes. I mean, they'll change it. And the drug companies are very powerful, too. You have to deal with them. In this case, it was both. I mean, you had a problem with the drug companies, but you had a tougher problem in theory, other than the fact that I understood how to deal with them. And I'm the tariff king, and the tariff king has done a great job. And I hope we win.
He
this
called himself the
case
tariff
because if we
king,
don't,
you heard? Hey, man, what y'all think, man? What y'all think so far about
we have
this?
a great, safe, beautiful country now. We're doing better than we've ever done. We hit 42 stock market highs during the 11-month period that I've been here. There's never been anything like it. Stock market's hitting a new high again today. So it's it's been incredible. So just to end it on this, because it's such a big subject and it can't be explained by reading. As good as my speechwriter is, he's fantastic, but he can't write it in one sentence what we're talking about. So we're going to get most favored nations. We will be taking prescription drugs down to levels never even contemplated. And that's all great for healthcare, because when you're paying a tiny fraction of what you had anticipated paying prior to today, prior to this month, this all took place over the last month and a half. And the sad part is that when we first announced it, and we did it in a little bit more general form, when we first announced it, the Times did a story on page 22 or something, way back in the little story in the back of the newspaper. This is the biggest revolution in the history of medicine in this country because it's price. You're going to buy the drugs for a small fraction of what you were paying for them last month. And I tell the story of my first term. I was the one, after 28 years, that got drug prices down. It was either 1/4 or 1/8 of 1%.
Yeah, I heard that, people.
I got them down for the year. First time in 28
I mean,
years. I was so proud of myself.
this sounds like good.
I said, ladies and gentlemen,
This sounds like
for the
gold,
first time
especially if you.
in 28 years, drug prices
If
have
you-
gone
you-
down for the year. 1/8 of a
You're
point.
not healthy and you need
In fact, I had a
medication
chart. It
and
was the
stuff like
worst chart
that.
I've ever seen. It was a line that went from January to December, and it was dead straight. You had to get a little, like a carpenter uses to
Oh, you doing it dead.
see. I said, this doesn't look good. It's not the greatest line, but I was proud of it because it did. It went down either 1/4 of a point or 1/8 of a point, tiny. And now think of what we're doing. We're bringing medicine down by many times. By many times. Nobody's ever seen. And there are two ways of calculating. You could say 1,000%, 2,000, or you could say 90% or 80%. The Democrats want you to say 90 or 80, but there are two ways of calculating it. You understand that, Dan? And we'll take either way. It doesn't matter. But we'll be paying a tiny fraction. So that's going to go into our plan. And what Oz said is very important. It's very important that whoever is in this office is, strong and intelligent. And if they're not, they could, it could be ended. But what we want to do is we want to have it codified, so it's very hard to change. And that's all part of the process. I think it's the greatest revolution because it's financial is, a big part of the drugs. And all of the doctors sitting there know exactly what I'm talking about. They have their patients in Europe, and they say, I can't believe it. I'm buying the same thing for, 15% of what I pay in New York or in Chicago.
Wow.
And they're all nodding their heads. That's right. That's not going to happen anymore. We pay now, just to end it, the lowest price in the
Bro,
world.
we're the only warning
whatever that
about
is.
World War III.
That's what the United States of America will be paying. Isn't that an amazing, long story? I was going to say long, boring. It's not boring. To me, it's long and exciting. It's the biggest thing to happen to healthcare. I don't think there's anything we can do. We can do all of our different methods, but there's nothing we can do that can ever top what we do. And the press should treat it fairly instead of not writing about it, because they don't write about it because it's me. Primarily because it's me, but also because it's Republican. And they don't write about it, and they should be ashamed. But fortunately, the public understands it, and that's why we won the election in a landslide. So it's a great thing.
What?
Instead of Americans paying the
His face be
highest
cracking me up, though, man. He's definitely a unique person. Anybody else seen a white man that looked like him before? Like, you know how you see doppelganger, what's it called? I haven't seen one, maybe there is, but look at this guy. Look at the eyebrow space, ratio, and diagonal. The angle of the twist, Jesus, the way it fades from yellow to a golden retriever gold to that man is different. I'm telling you right now, he's different. People say they're different, but this nigga is different.
drug prices anywhere in the world by far, by 10 times sometimes, will now pay the lowest cost paid by the lowest nation. So the lowest nation, whatever that is, I hope they negotiate a great deal. I hope somebody out there of all those nations is going to be a better negotiator than everybody else. And whatever they get, we get, Mike. Is that pretty good? Look at Mike, even Laura, first time I've ever seen him smile. And next, our plan would reduce your insurance premiums by stopping government payoffs to big insurance companies and sending the money directly to the people. So instead of, and this started and I'm not really a healthcare maven, but I was always a good businessman. I saw that I'm reading the paper. And I
Well,
see
we
the
know
money
that, Trump.
the insurance companies were making from us.
We know you've been a good businessman. This is how we even knew you. We knew you was a rich ass businessman. We knew this. You ain't gotta tell us that. You ain't gotta throw that in our face all the time. Trump, we know. But that's the problem. This you running this country like a business. Maybe that's good for certain things. I don't know. Maybe what do I know? But it just don't sound. It just not ain't sitting well with me. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff. That's my problem. It ain't the other. It ain't nothing. I don't care who it would be. It's just certain stuff.
On Obamacare, and they're up by 1,000%, 16. I think one was up 1,723%, 1,700%, and it's because of the massive amount of money that's sent to them by the United States government. And
Did you lose a lot of money sports betting on DraftKings or FanDuel? You make
sense statement. I didn't check with anybody. I didn't even call Oz or anybody. It just made sense. I made a statement, and it went viral. Can you believe it? It was so popular.
I can believe.
In other words, we cut out the insurance companies.
I definitely can
They're
believe
making
it.
a fortune. And, you know, they're good people. They're business people. I don't blame them. But we cut them out. We pay the money directly to the people. The people love it. I said it, I said it as a non-professional in that business. And I made the statement like all of a sudden it's like the biggest story, that one, the biggest story. And I get a call from Caroline, who's around here someplace. She said, "Sir, we're getting inundated." Margot called me too. Margot, you called me too. Margot, everyone knows Margot. She's been here from the beginning, right from the beginning. But she said, "Sir," both of them. They said, "Sir, we're being inundated by what? You made a statement about health care being paid directly to the people into health savings accounts or whatever you want, health care accounts." And I said, "I did. What's the story?" He said, It's crazy. It's blown up. People loved it. And so that's where we started. So Obamacare was designed to make insurance companies rich. It really was. I mean, maybe not knowingly at the time by Obama, because he didn't know much about this stuff. It was designed by other people in Congress that are total pros that are bought off by the insurance companies. And the problem we'll have with this is we'll get Democrat votes, even though it should be.
Damn, he just see it right there.
Maybe you'll get some. You'll call some of your friends, fellas, and Bob, you'll call some of your friends.
Can I even repeat this? This is live? Oh, man. What did he just say? Shit. He ain't hold no punches, did he?
Carolina, their regional
He ain't holding no punches, man. That's one thing about him.
Big hospital in the city, and they adopt.
If you don't see the blow coming, he is not going to see
challenges of fragmented care, and that actually works. You share administrative.
He definitely ain't sneaking no one. This nigga is just
you exchange medical records.
rambunctious. He just said
has no OBGYNs in many of their counties.
I mean,
so they're doing something pretty cool. They're actually having robots do ultrasounds on these pregnant moms. So we can actually get those images back to the big center. So we know if the child has a problem, and we know if that mother's at risk. We have one of the highest maternal mortality rates in the world, in the country with the best medicine in the world. It's often stated, people ask, does healthcare stink in America? Well, they don't like it. Would you leave America to get healthcare elsewhere? Nobody leaves. We have the best healthcare if you can get to it. We don't want rural America left behind anymore. As an aside, by the way, we've talked about the most favored nation drug pricing. One of the first companies and areas we used most favored nation drug pricing is fertility drugs. That's why we're going to have so many Trump babies, because we've dropped dramatically the most expensive part of the fertility space. And so America no longer will pay so many times more. In that case, it was 10 times more for the same fertility drugs that they're available for moms who want to get pregnant in Europe. I want to thank Terry, who's here as a nurse practitioner, Andrew, who's a doctor, West Virginia, New Mexico. They're representatives of the workforce in rural America. but there are only 2 of them here representative because we don't have enough people working in rural America. It's a big challenge. So Delaware is creating its own medical school, their first ever medical school in a rural part of the state. So that can get more local talent that will stay local in those parts of Delaware. Michigan is launching the High School to Healthcare Pipeline Grant Program. They want to take kids out of high school in Michigan, local rural communities, and get them into the system. Get them trained as nurses because they'll stay home because they're from those communities and they'll save lives for decades there. These are the types of programs that can get our rural communities and economies up to high gear and keep it that way long after this 5-year funding is done. And finally, tech innovation. Rural communities would benefit the most from high-tech advances, like we just discussed, as possibly if there was a head trauma case. Many states want to partner with our CMS Data Interoperability Network. It was created by Amy Gleason, who spearheaded so much of the technology transformation in our government. It's going to support the president's pledge to provide transparency that he mentioned as part of the great healthcare plan.
Now, watch it. Please like and subscribe. They're good. Appreciate it.
Decades to come if we can get this
What y'all think about what's going on? Trump talks World War III. I've been listening for him. I guess he's been taking shots. So I'm reading through the comments.
For the best knowledge available where you are. We'll meet you where you are. If you're a vet and depressed and you're thinking of taking your life, we'll be there. Just let us know you're in trouble and we'll help. Alaska wants to deploy, and I'm going to hand it to Senator Sullivan in a second, wants to deploy unmanned pharmaceutical distribution kiosks and drones that will deliver medications because in the North Slope of Alaska, you can't get there this time of year. So these technologies, they exist. Why are we using them in Midtown Manhattan? We should use them in rural Alaska. This administration is committed to collaborating with all 50 states, all 50, red and blue, all 50 states, to carry out bold plans to tackle the challenges that local communities face. We're not pouring funds blindly, however, into a broken system. We're going to carefully, precisely, as the president said, target this investment. With healthcare fund running rampant, and I was in Minnesota this week, Mr. President, it's worse than we've heard, but Minnesota, pardon the pun, is just the tip of the iceberg. California is the varsity team when it comes to fraud, waste, and abuse. We're not going to let that happen. We want transparency for this $50 billion investment. We owe it to Capitol Hill, we owe it to this president, and we want accountability to be a top priority. For that reason, we've created an Office of Rural Health Transformation at CMS for long-term oversight. The office led by Alina, check guide Alina again, was one of the people who helped create this program in the forefront. Will guide, she was in the first administration, Mr. President. She's going to guide states in implementing their rural health transformation plans, coordinate all the federal and state partnerships, making sure there's appropriate oversight. In addition, every single state is going to have a dedicated project officer. We will be there with you. We're going to help you. Please engage us. You've got lots of lives at risk. It's a true state-federal partnership, unbelievable, extraordinary milestone for healthcare. Your zip code will no longer dictate whether you have excellent healthcare. Your zip code will no longer be your destiny. It's not going to dictate your life expectancy. Mr. President, I cannot thank you enough for the leadership that it took to get this $50 billion investment in rural healthcare. They don't make a lot of noise. They just want to get the job done. You stood up for them in Congress. God bless you for making this possible. Please do it again. Please do it again for the great healthcare plan. Let me hand it to Dan Sullivan, who's a spectacular member of the Senate, and obviously Alaska, they're pretty rural.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. And Mr. President, I am very honored to be here. This is a really exciting day. I want to thank you, sir, and your team. Worked really closely with Dr. Oz, Secretary Kennedy, many others. You know, it's a great example of how Congress, working closely with your administration, can
I thought that nigga had one of them
things.
I thought he had one of Islam, one of them little caps on. Yeah, you know, like the old little caps that they used to wear. Yeah.
This is historic for our rural health care, certainly in the Working Families Tax Cuts Act. You combine it with what you were talking about, sir, in terms of drug price reductions for all Americans. So these are two things that are happening right now and are historic, and I agree 100% with you, Mr. President, hasn't got a lot of press, even though it is historic. It's going to really impact people in rural America, especially my state, this fund that I want to talk about. But what you've done on the drug pricing is even...
Ben, will you get Lisa Murkowski to vote for it?
She voted for it.
No, are you going to get her to vote for the great, big, beautiful health care bill that we're doing?
When we get that, I think MFN drug pricing, I bet
No,
every
are you gonna get her to
member
vote
of
for it?
Congress votes
Are you
on
going to
that.
get her to vote for it?
We'll
Look at
work
this
on it.
nigga pressing him.
Um,
Look, he pressing him right there. Trump a
Let
motherfucker,
me
boy.
actually talk a little bit about the context of what's going on in Alaska and how this relates to it. You know, after 4 years of being locked up and shut down by the previous administration, we are on the cusp of achieving some huge goals in my state that we've been working on for decades. We have this huge resource development boom going on the north slope of Alaska. I was with a bunch of the Inupiat Alaska Native people who live up there. They're so excited about what's happening there. We are, as you know, Mr. President, building icebreakers. We're home porting some of those in Alaska. We have huge historic...
I don't think them people that happy. Maybe they is, but for some reason, it just didn't sound genuine when he said it. I don't know, I could be wrong.
So much, the big LNG project. All of these things are happening. It's really exciting. By the way, all of these issues I just talked about, all of those were in the Working Family Tax Cuts Act, so there's a lot of excitement. But, Mr. President, in addition to a strong economy, the thousands of jobs that these projects are going to have, we have to have a strong healthcare system in every state. And rural Alaska, as you mentioned, as Dr. Oz mentioned, has often, almost always been an afterthought when it comes to investing in healthcare in America. And that's not happening anymore after the Working Families Tax Cuts Act. As you said, Mr. President, as Dr. Oz said, this is the biggest investment in rural healthcare in American history. $50 billion. The award the great state of Alaska was able to get working with Dr. Oz, and the parameters of the bill was about $1.4 billion over 5 years to transform our healthcare system. So that's really exciting, but here's the big deal. This is not just about money. This bill isn't just about money. The reason it's so impactful is that it's focused on letting states and governors design the system that they need. Alaska has many unique healthcare challenges, Mr. President, as you know, but for decades, the mentality in Washington, D.C. is this approach to one size fits all. D.C. tells every state, here's how you have to do it. And it never works. It never works. It certainly doesn't work in my state. I'll just give you one example. The federal match on Medicaid. Our state typically has the lowest match in the country, even though we have the highest healthcare costs and highest delivery costs in the country. The one size fits all doesn't work. This bill is different. This bill that we wrote with your administration is all about allowing states to design a system that works for them with CMS guidance, and this will be a generational opportunity for every state to bring health care closer to home, to make it more responsive to the people who live in that state, and make it more affordable. I'll just end with this, Mr. President. Like I said, a lot of excitement. We got Governor Dunleavy, who sends his greetings, was hosting the stakeholders in Alaska who are going to be applying for these funds, working with CMS in our state. Over the last couple of days, you have over 300 people coming to these meetings on how to use this transformation fund to better health care in Alaska. And this is going to help my constituents, it's going to help every American, and it is really exciting. And I want to thank, again, you, Mr. President, and your team.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. We're going to have to go very fast. We're going to have to go
Trump,
we are way
Trump got frustrated. He started getting impatient. That nigga said. He started tapping on the table and shit. He like, okay, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Then he made sure to let him know that, hey, yo, speed this bullshit up.
behind
It's,
schedule, and I have a couple of meetings.
I don't think we
that
haven't had a president.
nothing more
We
important.
never
than
had
this.
one like it. Like
Let's
I said,
go. Come on, Bob.
come on, Bob.
Fire round.
Ah!
Mr. President, thank you
Come
very
on,
much for having
Bob.
me here today. And I represent northeastern Pennsylvania. Your governor from
Ah.
Pennsylvania, so never had the opportunity to meet.
Let me up,
I
Bob.
inherited a very select before I was even sworn into office. I had two hospitals, Moses Taylor and Regional in Scranton, that were eminently facing closure. And it's been, and working with Dr. Oz, Administrator Oz, and the CMS team has been absolutely incredible on so many levels. And thank you again for intervening and shepherding us through that process. But when you're looking at Pennsylvania, we're going to receive over $193 million. In 5 years, it'll be over $1 billion for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And when you
Man, send me 3. Send me 3 mil. Send me 100. 100,000. 60 cents. Send me 30. 30,000. 30,000. Somehow lose 15. 15,000. Don't know what happened to it. Y'all won't even, it won't even tickle you. You won't even feel it.
You think about northeastern Pennsylvania, clinics and regional hospitals, rural hospitals are the backbones of our communities. So making a targeted investment that is not just going to band-aid poor operational procedures, it's going to actually transform rural healthcare. That's what we are so excited about. Pike County in my district is the largest growing county in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania where there's not a hospital. The nearest community to a hospital is over 55 minutes away. So these are going to be funds that will be so imperative. The unprecedented investment is going to be incredible, and thank you for having me up here and being a part of this journey.
Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a great opportunity to be here with you and your team. Dr. Oz has been a tremendous asset. The $50 billion commitment to rural health transformation is critical. New York State is going to see about $212 million in the first year, which is vital for workforce development, access to care, primary, behavioral, maternal, emergency, telemedicine, et cetera. How were we able to do it? Because we rooted out waste, fraud, and abuse in the system. Democrats will just say we cut $1 trillion in Medicaid. That's not what we did. We said you need to be eligible. You need to be a citizen. You need to work if you are able-bodied without dependent children. We reined in the provider tax and state-directed payments, which have exploded over years. And we are taking this money, not only preserving Medicaid for the IDD community, our seniors, our children, our single mothers, but we're investing it in rural health. When you look at Obamacare, health insurance premiums have risen 96% since Obamacare took effect. Insurance revenues up 2,000%. Mr. President, you are 1,000% correct that the insurance companies are the problem. They wrote Obamacare, it's to their benefit, and the American people are being screwed. So we can get a bipartisan agreement on what you are trying to do. When it comes to lowering drug prices, I will tell you, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies is in my district in Westchester County. I met with them in 2024 and I said, what would you do to lower drug prices? And the response was, go after the European price controls. You are spot on taking on the price controls that have been put in place. Most favored nation is the single.
They talking about health care, which I learned a few things out there, but I feel like they were repeating. Wasn't really getting to the title of the stream, so at least want to get that. What are you talking about?
I don't know that they want to settle. If they don't want to settle, we're out of there. You know, I watched over the last week or so what's going on in Europe. This thing could end up in World War III if we don't get it settled. I don't know that they want to settle.
I don't know how old was that? Yeah, because I want to see some up to date. See, that's what they talking about.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is Co-Producer, the fastest way to find samples that fit your track. It listens.
And I've also announced that the U.S. government is purchasing $200 billion of mortgage bonds to bring down mortgage rates. That's had a huge impact already started. And just last week, the average 30-year mortgage dropped below 6% for the first time in many years. Coming down rapidly, and that's not with the help of the Fed. If I had the help of the Fed, it would be easier. But that jerk will be gone soon. In addition, I proudly called for the credit card companies to cap interest rates at 10% for 1 year, because they're getting 28 and 30% and 32%. And it's unfair. The rates are way too high. To provide further relief to hardworking Americans, will also be confronting one of the biggest factors in driving up prices, the monstrosity known as the Unaffordable Care Act. You know what that is, right? It's Obamacare. It's a great name, Unaffordable Care Act. Did anybody ever think of that one before? It's true. It's the Unaffordable Care Act. Obamacare was a gift to make health insurance companies rich at the expense of the American people. In particular, the so-called enhanced premium tax credits were a corrupt payoff to the insurers, whose stock prices went up more than 1,000% after Obamacare was signed. I want the same money I want it to go directly, very simple. I want the money, those big amounts of money paid for by the government, to go directly to the people so they can buy the health care that's right for them. They can negotiate their own deal, health care savings account, but they'll buy their own health care, and everybody loves it. That's why later this week, I'll announce our healthcare affordability framework that will reduce premiums for millions or lower drug prices, delivering price transparency and demand honesty and accountability from insurance companies all over the country, all over the world, actually. Healthcare costs will come down very fast with my most favored nation executive order. We're doing most favored nation drug prices. When we would have prices stay the same, everybody thought it was great. They're going to be coming down thousands of percents. We're standing up to special interests and slashing prescription drug prices.
I don't say how is he live?
500, and even 600% and more. I mean, think of that. On that alone, we should win the midterms in a landslide.
Trump, I don't think nobody wants you on another term. We'll go see, but I can't vote anyway. But I don't think you feel me? I don't know, man. Anyway, I'm not going to even indulge on it. I thought it was. I know he's been following around the anal cavity of war. He's been, on a higher note, it's Tuesday, my last day off before I go back, start my work week. Fun. Doesn't have to be fun, it must be done. Doesn't have to be fun, but it must be done. You dig? If you're coming through, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. Trying to get monetized, so help your boy out. I greatly appreciate it. It means a lot. So, oh yeah, I seen this about Mr. Tenantism. Y'all heard about the Mr. Tenantism shit? Okay, I watched an interview, right, by Willie D. Here's the first one that it broke out that I learned about the incident with him and Keith Lee visiting the restaurant. I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna tell y'all how I was introduced to him, how I came across this guy. like I came across them. I used to come across like this is probably like my first go around back in 2020. My first go around. My first attempt to get off my addiction. Right, my first attempt after going through all the stages so I could quit when I want to quit, to the downfall, to the spiral, to the rock bottom, to the finally to look in the mirror, to realizing. Then you had your first attempt. This is it. The first attempt to try to, you don't want this shit no more, right? So at that time, I was very alone, had a lot of time to myself. I would be on YouTube. And Les, I don't know if they heard the one I always say, Texas in each and every way. You know what I'm saying? I came across him first. And I was sitting in there, going through. It's probably like 3 months in. And I was just, be scrolling. And I always see Les and stuff. But then, over time, probably like not too far after Les, probably like, it was like a 3-month time when I started seeing Les videos, Les barbecue, and then Unc hit him. Unc went, man, I feel like Unc was all on my algorithms like 6 months after that. 3 to 6 months after that, like I started seeing, I'm like, oh, he must be rival. You know what I'm saying? And I always, Les is the first one I seen. I like the way Les do his thing. But over time, I see Unc coming through. He always did his thing. He had a different, he used to call them black diamonds. I remember, like, because Les had them candy reds, and he came with the black diamonds. And I was like, So he had me like, I want to try all these. I still want to try them. I got to have them. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way them motherfuckers sit down, you know what I'm saying? Especially to a nigga, man, doing, your first attempt to get sober, your first 0 to 6 months is so important. These were my, these how I met these guys during that time. And I was a fan ever since. Come to now, I come across a video with Willie D talking about. I always thought that. I assumed. I never knew the real business of Mr. Shenanigans. I just know I like the way he did his thing, and he had me interested. Every time I scroll, I had to watch. I was like, back then he getting just good with it. I was like, so to me, that's I want them because he did that shit. He sold them motherfuckers to me. He sold them straight through the phone. I want them. No questions asked. Nobody asked. It's like seeing Uncle Ben on rice. But we all know it's a white man behind that. We did not see the owner. So, I guess Keith Lee came to the restaurant to see Mr. Shenanigans, this guy right here. And they told Keith that he was busy, like he couldn't come out. It wasn't, he's not available, whatever like that. Truth come out, behold, Mr. Shenanigans didn't even know that they was there. He said he didn't even know that they was there to give him a tip. Keith Lee had a $5,000 tip. The real reason why they turned it down is because he didn't tip everybody. So you mean to tell me a person comes to a restaurant and want to tip you, he got to tip everybody to tip him? They was jealous or someone right with that. And then he said that he was the owner, but then he really wasn't the owner. He's just the face. Then to come to find out, y'all, the trademark that Mr. Shenanigans always say, like, we used to always say, like take his glasses off. That's Shenanigans. He shake the, you know what I'm saying? And old boy went off and took the shit. He trademarked it. The owner trademarked it behind this man's back. So not only he has no equity, in the business. He's not an owner. He started off with his recipe. That's his recipe. This was the business he was in that he was working for. The guy that owns it was a felon coffee shop or some shit like that. Mr. Tizzle came through, showed him how to, you know what I'm saying? And he did his thing with his recipe, and this what he gets. Used and abused. Like you would think you would have some type of he would give you some type of equity or some type of percentage or something that will sustain you even when you pass away, that you get your kids for helping him get on. But it's business, and people that take advantage. You don't know shit. They wrong. Maybe I would think so. I would say so. If you know that you're getting over somebody and you take advantage of that with that mind frame, yeah, you definitely wrong. You talking about? What you talking about, Myra?
Putting people in sanctions. Meanwhile, what is China doing? China is building. China's creating infrastructure. China's investing. You can't just invade every BRICS country. Now it's about influence. And we're slowly losing influence. So the thing with Venezuela, guys, is that Venezuela had just signed, I think on December 28th or so, Venezuela has signed a deal to do all their oil transactions in BRICS currency led by the yuan. This was the red line for Washington, because they could not have Venezuela, who has the most oil reserves in the world, doing oil transactions in BRICS currencies while supplying our adversary, okay? China buys a majority of Venezuela's oil, and China also buys a majority of Iran's oil, two countries that are heavily sanctioned by us. So not only that, you guys gotta remember, the petrodollar has been getting weakened. Reserve currency status is getting weakened. What do we have left? Military might, okay? That's what we have left is military might. They said, you know what, the diplomacy, because diplomacy would mean that we would have to pay a fair price for the oil. We don't want to pay a fair price. We want to pay less. We want to have control of it. They were getting barely 1 million barrels a day out of there. They need way more than that. Maduro, they felt, was not getting enough oil out there, so they said, you know what, that shit. He's not getting enough barrels out there. We can take control of this. We can build the infrastructure. We can make it better. We can make more money. Also, guys, keep in mind, also, the oil, because people are going to sit there and say, well, Myra, what about the oil that we make here? We make a bunch of oil in America. The shale that we make in America is not the oil and not the type of oil that our refineries, the crude that we produce, is not the same crude that countries like Venezuela, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the Middle East produce, that we actually run on. The refineries that we built, okay, 50 years ago, were built on the crude that comes from the Middle East and Venezuela, the thick stuff, okay? Not the expensive lighter oil that we have here. Our refineries, our system is built upon the oil from the Middle East and the oil from like Iran and Venezuela. That's what our refineries operate on, okay? So that's what you guys also need to know as well. When it comes to that situation, when it comes to, oh, Myron, we have our own oil here. That's a lie that they've been telling you guys for a very long time to kind of keep the fear-mongering. But the reality is...
I always thought that's what it was. Like, we had our own oil, like, down in Texas and... Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Out there on the coast, Gulf of Mexico, I thought. No. They said they want that thick shit. That fucking... Not that Jay Clan, but they want that, hell, the blood of the oil. That motherfucker just blood of the oil. Can you imagine this, y'all? This stuff is, this oil down in the earth, just, and that's what we killing for, like the blood of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Like the blood of the earth or some shit.
that the oil that we have here is not the oil that this country runs on, unfortunately. The refineries that we have here don't coincide with the oil that we have here. Another thing you guys need to also understand, we've been utilizing our petroleum reserves for the past few years under the Biden administration. You guys are saying, oh, well, gas prices aren't that bad, Myron. Well, the reason why is because we've been using our petroleum reserves. Now, for those of you that don't know what the petroleum reserves are, these are reserves that we have here in the United States for emergency situations. You know, outages, military needs, national security, whatever. But here's the thing. Biden, in the face of really bad approval ratings, has been releasing this oil, okay, this petroleum from the reserves. For a couple of years now, Trump has been continued on. So the petroleum reserves are low, okay? You guys see where I'm going here? So let's go back and summarize. Because I really want you guys to understand this. First, the 4 pillars the United States is built on: petrodollar, reserve currency status, SWIFT, military might. All 4 are being challenged right now by
just for educational purposes only. He has got me interested. I'm locked in right now. So stuff like this making sense. So yeah. If y'all watching, please like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. It's your boy Essex, aka Smurf Dirty, and I'm back with Shenanigans. On the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. For more content and everything like that. Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it coming. You did. Yeah.
BRICS, the de-dollarization, Saudi Arabia now doing all their transactions in oil, and then other countries slowly using BRICS more. BRICS rising up and the United States not holding reserve currency status. Also, countries like Russia, Iran, Venezuela, etc., showing that SWIFT doesn't necessarily control everything. You can still thrive without being on SWIFT. So all 4 of these pillars that we've built our power on have been challenged. So now Trump needs to take that power back. Okay? So what did Trump do? Well, we know the petrodollar's been going down. We know that our petroleum reserves have been used. Well, what's the next logically sound step? What's the next country that has the most crude reserves? Venezuela. Do they have a military to defend themselves? Not really. Do they have nuclear weapons? Nope. Okay. So petroleum reserves low? Bad. Maduro doing deals in BRICS currency? That was the red line. That was the end right there, okay? And then the petrodollar dying? No. Those 3 things right there, petrodollar dying, doing deals in BRICS currency led by the yuan, and then petroleum reserves. Those are the 3 main reasons that Trump invaded Venezuela. Of course, they used the lie of it was a drug enforcement operation. That's a bullshit because they indicted him back 6 years ago under Trump 1. Why didn't they get him back then? I'll tell you why they didn't get him back then. Because the petrodollar was still strong, reserve currency status was still high, right? And Russia didn't invade Ukraine yet. So SWIFT wasn't challenged. That's why we didn't invade back in 2020. See, and this is the analysis that no one wants to give you guys. Because if he was such a dangerous drug trafficker, like a narco-terrorist trafficker, like they said before in the 2020 indictment, they would have got him back then, but they didn't. And it's because these elements that I mentioned to you guys, weakening of the petrodollar, SWIFT being challenged, and then the petroleum reserves, none of these things existed back in 2020 when he got indicted. You guys see where I'm going with this now? So they had to get him out of there, okay? They had to get him out of there. Now, let's talk about Iran. Because after Venezuela was toppled by U.S. Special Forces, the Chinese are smart. Guess who they started buying more oil from? The Iranians. Right? Now, here's the thing, and this is where we're in a very weird spot. If the Chinese continue to purchase oil from Iran, because remember, what other country is sanctioned to hell where the Chinese can get cheap oil? Well, Venezuela's gone. What's left? Iran. But here's the issue. As we know, the United States, alongside the Mossad Israeli government, are astroturfing and trying to destroy the Iranian government. Manufacturing these protests with their dollar, whatever it may be, right? If the Chinese continue to purchase Iranian oil, at some point it's going to create jobs and it's going to bring prosperity back to Iran. Their money's going to come back up. Now here's the other problem. That money, right, that Iran makes, guess where it's going to go? It's going to go to defense. And we know when it comes to Iranians and defense, they're going to manufacture more ballistic missiles. They're going to purchase Russian weaponry, air defense, all that shit. So now it puts us on an even tighter timeline because now that Venezuela's out, another reason too why the Israelis were really on board with taking out Venezuela is because number one, Venezuela didn't recognize Israel. Number two, it would limit Iran's strength in shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. For those of you that don't know, the Strait of Hormuz, and I'll show you guys this real quick on a map. The Strait of Hormuz, guys, right here, okay? This area right here. So here's a map of the Middle East, right? Is this little strait right here, okay? Now, this strait, something like 30% of the world's oil goes through here, okay? If this were to be shut down, we're talking about a big problem economically, okay? Now, to soften the blow
That's
from
crazy,
the strategy
y'all.
that Iran might employ in the course of a existential crisis, a serious war, right? Because they obviously reserve the right to shut down this strait. Having access to Venezuelan oil will be great, right? We'll have access to this Venezuelan oil. Oh yeah, great, yeah, woo. But here's the problem what they didn't realize. The Chinese, right, are gonna buy the oil from Iran instead. And that money is going to be used to beef up their military. Iran makes their own ballistic missiles. They have very smart scientists. That's why always kills them. But they got a lot of them. Okay? So what this basically done, what this has done, this has created almost a time clock, a ticking time clock. Because Iran is weak now. Yeah, the Chinese are going to buy more oil from them, but this is going to take time for them to start getting the money and everything else like that. So this gives the Israelis a tighter timeline to make anything happen. And this is what I'm talking about, guys, right? This is where we need to have a very difficult discussion. This, my friends, is what happens when you live in a multipolar world. Okay? The United States is no longer the only global superpower. Okay?
No, it's yes, I agree.
The disparity that we once enjoyed between these countries is pretty much dissipated. We are not that far ahead of China and Russia to the point where we could tell them what to do. And Putin talked about this back in, I think, Munich in 2007, of being in a multipolar world. It's here, boys. It's here. And for some odd reason, American political commentators refuse to accept the fact that we live in a multipolar world. If you truly love America, you need to be able to understand the truth and the reality of where we stand. And where we stand nowadays is we are not that more advanced than China and Russia. They have nuclear weapons, they have a capable military, they have huge militaries, and our hegemon status, especially with our financial institutions, does not have the same, how do I say this, asphyxiation effect that it used to have. Russia, Iran, Venezuela, China, all these countries have proven, right, in BRICS in general, that there is a rising alternative. And this is the biggest reason why I don't like the Venezuelan invasion. I don't know if you guys noticed, but a bunch of countries came forward to condemn the United States for that.
That's what I was saying. When we did that, our friends looked at us. You know how you never had a friend, acquaintance, whatever, they're hanging out, and they do some foul shit to somebody else, and you, in your head, look at them, and you like, in your head, you like, if that nigga do that to them, let me watch him. You know what I'm saying? That's the first thought. It wasn't like I was worried. You know what I'm saying? It was just the common sense chain reaction, and the boldness, especially the reaction of the effect of what the fuck he did. Like, that's just like, and let everybody know that this nigga will do that, and that's what makes him untrustable to the other things. And like, don't burn your bridges with people, especially what he just said. We are living in a multipolar world. There are alternatives. So when you burning bridges, you don't want to lose people to join other sides. Because once people start joining certain sides, and we left out in cold, man, the table's turning. The tables, it won't be fun. Like, the ignorance is bliss. Like,
okay? And the reason why they condemn the United States is because we are now hypocrites. Did we not just lecture Russia for what? Oh, 4 years now, going on 4 years. They invaded back in 2022. It's been 4 years, chat. Did we not lecture them that you cannot invade a country and take away their sovereignty? We did the same shit. Article 2. We did the same shit. So who are we to lecture Russia? Have we not been talking about China better not invade Taiwan? Who are we to now tell China they can't invade Taiwan?
Right, yep. Exactly. Like, who's to say China like, what, bitch? You just invaded Venezuela. That's your native country, nigga. Your native continent. My country, this little piece down here in Taiwan is us. Before y'all even thought about the eastern part of the world and think that they might not try us to invade, what we gonna do over there? We gonna go over there? We'll go over there and send troops over there? To China.
What we've basically done is we have validified and vindicated both Putin and Ping, leaders of Russia and China respectively. They've been talking about this for years, saying that we are bullies, we use our financial power and overrepresentation in our military to bully people, sanction people, to control governments, to run coups, and we're hypocrites. That's what they've been saying about us for years. Us invading Venezuela confirmed the hypocrisy, and it confirmed what they've been saying.
About lying to us, and they tell us all the time that, yeah, your country lies to you. They tell us, other countries telling us that our country is lying to us. It's crazy. You don't think that's crazy? Like, other countries telling us that our country is lying to us. That's like what we do to to North Korea. You know, like North Korea, they're like basically shadow banned from the rest of the world if you're a citizen there. That is not connected to like our internet. They got different TV, satellite. Just they're excluded from the rest of the world. North Korea is. So they're lied to, like they tell them all types of shit. And those people don't know any different because they can't, like, we can look over it to see what's going on around the world. They really can't look out that way. So they can just be told anything. That's like our country telling North Korea that they're lying to you. Yeah. Other countries telling us that our own country is lying to us.
So guess what's going to happen? Countries are going to slowly de-dollarize. Countries are going to slowly start to buy more gold. Countries are slowly going to try to distance themselves from SWIFT. Countries are slowly going to start doing secret partnerships with China and Russia because we've kind of exposed ourselves where if you don't comply with what we do, we're going to invade you anyway. So now holding U.S. dollars is a liability, not an asset. Now having oil and not doing transactions in the U.S. dollar is a liability, not an asset.
Yeah, they're going to run for
if
safety.
we don't follow what the United States says, we can get kicked off SWIFT. Russia has shown that you don't need to be under SWIFT to be successful. Venezuela tried to show that if you have a lot of oil, you can go ahead and not be under the U.S. dollar system in the hegemon. U.S. said nope, and invaded. So what comes off is supposed to be a show of strength actually was a declaration of weakness because we had to invade them versus exercising some level of diplomacy or trade. We are invading, doing regime change wars, putting people in sanctions. Meanwhile, what is China doing? China is building. China's creating infrastructure. China's investing. So they look like a better world partner than we do. And these are ugly truths that American political commentators don't want to acknowledge.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a China puppet. Oh, you're a puppet, blah, blah, blah.
I understand exactly what you're talking about. Anybody else? I mean, that makes sense to me. Anybody else? If you're watching, please like and subscribe. Really appreciate it.
Guys, this is the reality. We are in a multipolar world. And right now, it looks, for a lot of countries, that it's better to work with China than us. China has been in a war since 1979. We've been in several. When's the last coup that China ran to destabilize the government? I can't even think of one, but we've done several, maybe 50 plus. At least it's not public. I'm sure China does a whole bunch of bullshit behind the scenes. And the thing that pisses me off is that China's a corrupt government. They're communists, they're evil, they suppress their own people, they repress their own people, they're up. But they look like the better global partner.
Wow.
Also, China doesn't give what you do. Hey, we just want to do trade with you. That's it. We don't care if you got a democracy. We don't care if you're a dictator, whatever. We just want to do business with you. We don't give a. That's attractive to a lot of countries out there. Oh, you're not going to meddle in our affairs? You're not going to intervene? You just want to do business? Awesome, let's do it. Meanwhile, us, okay, we'll do business with you, but you got to use dollars. You got to have a democracy. You got to do this. You got to do that. If you're not going to do this, then we need you to do this. Guys, if you're an up-and-coming country, who you don't want to work with? You want to work with the United States? Or are you going to want to work with China or Russia? You can't just invade every BRICS country. Now it's about influence. And we're slowly losing influence. And I wish more American geopolitical commentators talked about this, because this is a problem. Okay? We can't just be sitting here like America and be
I was just telling somebody at work about that attitude, man. I was like, bro, how can people be so blind to see and not see that? Like that's how you could tell motherfuckers who they never been in real conflict or never had things going where they learned that that's how it works. The tables turn, karma's real. When you do things, it's the energy. It's not what you do all the time. It's how you do it and your intentions when you do it. All of those are real facts. You can laugh now, cry later. You can cry now and laugh later. You know what I'm saying? This is real life. So when you understand it, you got a more humble. Then you're gonna be human, but you got a more humble outtake of life. Like, you don't get too far from reality, because you know that anytime that could be you, or anytime that could be us. You don't get indulged into the bullshit like, sitting your ass out there, because you obviously ain't never been to nothing, or never been in no type of real life experience. You go, or just straight down to the cause. That's what you want, fine. But yeah, when you do certain shit, it was like the first time he did that, it wasn't about what he did, it was how he did it and the chain reaction behind it. I said that in one of my lives before. I said what I'm trying to see is how everybody else gonna look at us. And if the problem they got power, other countries, people gonna, and what Morris just said, he said, when China don't care about other people, they don't get in their business. You know how mesmerizing and delicious that looks and sounds to other countries? Like, oh, we can do business, which is business. Business ain't in my personal business. Business is business. Transaction, when I used to sell dope, or when I was buying or selling the dope, it was business, transactions. I don't care what you got going on. If you smacked your bitch while I was handing you the shit in the car or whatever like that, man, give me my money. I'm walking up. I ain't got nothing to do with this. This ain't my business. I don't judging about who you are, what you doing. All I want to know is you was snitching that. I don't know what's other than that. So, other countries, that's going to be appeasing them. And China got money. Russia got money. They got influence now. They start going in them. And Chinese folks seem real. One thing, they are very loyal. They're very loyal. Especially among themselves. They had no business. Look how they do in America. They post up in the hood and they do business. They'll sell to your black ass all day long. Just don't steal. They don't come here and move right into the white neighborhood, do they? Chinese folks don't come here and move right into the white neighborhood. They move every Chinese place I know. If it ain't a commercial Chinese place, if it's an independent owned Chinese restaurant, salon, this just is not in the rich neighborhoods. It's not in, most of them are in your below, mid, and poor neighborhoods. They buy, they sell anything. They care about the dollar. And with that, you see how everything say China on our shit. Everything say China. They care about that dollar. They gonna keep making them. Them motherfuckers like, they put it up quickly. They don't, yeah. So countries start going in them. They ain't got to China go say, oh, to do business with us, you can't do business with America. You can't do it. They don't give a fuck about that. They too busy focused on them building them. They don't give them less, you know what I'm saying? Us, we probably give them all types of, you can't, we don't do business, you got to be this. Your government has to give us this amount. You can't do business or buy off any other for this amount of years. You got this contract. Just all types of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
What the fuck is going on? America, it's like, bro, we got to understand our adversaries. We got to know our adversaries. We have to know ourselves. The art of war.
Yeah.
Know thy enemy and know thyself.
Yes.
Bruh,
yes.
This is what China's doing. China
yes.
is doing deals by investing and helping create infrastructure and diplomacy. What are we doing? Invading countries, running coups, destabilizing, doing regime change wars, and we're being hypocrites. So we are absolutely losing influence. And not only are we losing influence, we're losing influence in South America. What, 54? I think out of
right.
55 Latin American countries? Or no, that's Africa. Africa's working with China heavy. China's building all types of infrastructure in Africa. But in Latin America, lots of countries are doing trade with China. The Monroe Doctrine is a joke. China's been in South America forever.
That's not the first time when he says that. I wonder how all the other countries in South America feel about us going into Venezuela like that. Don't you think Brazil and Argentina and Ecuador and Peru, all those countries, you know, how they feel about that? Like when he did that shit, like I don't think this man like understood. You know, the fact that the damage this could, you know.
I told y'all this back in 2018. They're all over the Bahamas. They're all over Jamaica. Go to Jamaica. Anyone go to Jamaica? People say, oh, the Monroe Doctrine. You clearly haven't been to South America. You haven't been in the Caribbean. There's Chinese all over Jamaica, bro. I'm not kidding around. Chinese nigga, bro. Eyes like this. But still says, Bombocard. They're all over the Bahamas, too. They've been all over South America for a minute. Brazil's a part of BRICS. What do y'all talk about Monroe Doctrine? China and Russia have been in South America for a minute, dude. Now, let's talk about the next thing. Let's talk about Greenland. Now, you guys are probably wondering, yo, Meyer, why do we care so much about Greenland? I'll tell you guys why. Because there's rare earth minerals there.
I know it.
Two of them especially.
Yeah.
Memorize these two. I haven't seen anybody talk about this shit. So, samarium and dysprosium, okay? I think maybe on the chart it's SM for samarium, and then for dysprosium, DY and terbium, TB. What you guys need to know is that these are heavy rare elements that Greenland is rich in, right? And basically, they dramatically improve high temperature performance and prevent demagnetization under jet engine bay heat, avionic stress, or other extreme conditions. Essential for modern fighter jet upgrades, flight control actuators, sensors, and power systems. Without them, magnets would fail and overheat in high operational environments. Same exact thing pretty much for samarium. Also renowned for exceptional heat resistance, they maintain strong magnetic performance at temperature hot enough to melt lead. That's why we want Greenland.
Huh. I already do it. I said, man, nah, man. Yeah, he don't want them to get it, but then we're going to go there. We're going to dig that place up. It's a beautiful place. Greenland is one of those places I would love to go visit in the most summer part of the season there is it's going to get. Greenland, Iceland, definitely. Greenland, Norway, I would love to fuck me a Norway bitch, you know what I'm saying? A Greenland bitch. One of those girls like that. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. And all I could see is just going up there and destabilizing shit. Everything we touch turning to. Like we start digging up in holes, now we fucking up the landscape up there. Extracting these chemicals, trashing the place. The animals start being bothered, killing off the animals. Of course, we're gonna send more military up there because now we got it. Like once we in there, it ain't no getting rid. Everybody know that, man. America been like that ever since we came over here. Once you get us in something, we ain't getting out. No, we're gonna take it. We'll trick you too. We'll be a friend. We're gonna We're gonna trick you. We're gonna butter you up. We'll sit at the table, eat with you. We definitely will. But America, we definitely gonna turn around and we gonna get you. You gonna linger around too long. You gonna think I'm your friend. America, you gonna think we're your friend too long, and we gonna get you. You gonna like your butthole was right there for the taking. You gave it to them. That's how America is. You go either way. America's gonna fuck you. Either way.
Okay? It is a strategic necessity when our air superiority and our fighter jets
A strategic necessity. Okay.
run on these metals. Pop Smoke says the strategic necessity to take Venezuela back from China. They were building military infrastructure. Bro, bro, stop being a dude. Oh my God. Did I not just explain to you the 3 main reasons why he invaded? I just explained to you the 3 main reasons why he invaded. Military infrastructure is not on that list, dude. Pop, sometimes you're an idiot, dude. I hate to say it, bro. You watch sometimes you're just a dumb. You think if the military infrastructure was that powerful, he wouldn't have said that shit, bro? He would have said that was the main reason? Dude, it's for the oil. And it's not only for the oil, it's because the oil challenges U.S. hegemony of the U.S. dollar. It's way past, and I explained it to you already. Petroleum reserves, the weakness of the petrodollar, and then Venezuela, the red line, was wanting to do deals in BRICS currency. Simple. And also, you got to keep in mind, if Venezuela was able to get away with that, that would embolden other countries to get off of the U.S. dollar system, to get off of SWIFT, to basically give a middle finger to the U.S. financial infrastructure that's been created for control countries. Because it would show, hey, look, even a poor country like Venezuela that doesn't...
Especially the ones that's oppressed. Kind of like Venezuela. They're gonna be like, shit. Nigga, if they can do it, we can do it. And that's exactly what he said. Like, so we really gonna have to put the clamp down because sometimes when you go that way, you gotta stay that way. If we can't back up, because that's gonna make us look more weaker than, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have to put the pressure down. This is where we're gonna be using military force for more, I can see it, like for threats, for fear, because I know. They don't trust us, we don't trust them, and we don't trust them because they trusted us. Now they don't trust us no more. We can't trust them because we never did. Crazy.
Doesn't have nukes, can operate.
And we all in the middle of it. We all pawns.
Operate under BRICS. That is why the U.S. invaded, bro. Stop being a dumb man. Holy shit. Nigga, like, don't be. If it was the military infrastructure like you claim, Trump would have said that immediately. We had to go in there. They were building military infrastructure. That wasn't it, dude. It's oil and our hegemon of the U.S. dollar. Come on, dude. Like, economic warfare is far more dangerous a lot of times than military warfare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. You had economic famine, food, the whole inside will collapse. And we know how dumbass we are. I know how dumbass Americans is, man. We are so, like, just how people react for a Black Friday back in the day when how they stampeded through and trampled people. How riots happen, like, when they loot stores. Just imagine how famine and economic crash here would be. It would be deadly. It would be no compassion, and this amongst ourselves. It would be grouped up, separated. It'll be a mess, man. It'll be a mess. So yeah, he's definitely right about that. I got a little more time, y'all. Y'all watch it, please like and subscribe. That's your boy Essence, aka Smurf Dirty. Let's see what we got. see, we gotta watch a case or crime. I got my son's basketball game in about an hour or so. So we'll watch one of these fake bike claims bike needs to protect the legal. Get the hell up out of here, man. Ain't nobody up, man. Get up out of here with that shit. Let's do that. That boy imposing taxes.
Minister, his stance on Greenland is tied to the decision.
What y'all think about this? I said, yeah, he need to leave Greenland alone, man. Why you messing with Greenland for, man? Them people up there, man, eating their whale meat and minding their business and stuff, man. I already knew it was not going to be good for them people to be bothered, them people left alone, but he says that they are sitting up for China or Russia, but we haven't heard Russia or China ever threaten to take over Greenland. So why do we need to go there? Did they hear something we don't know? Did they got some intel that we don't know? Hello? Hey, babe. Yeah, I'm alive. Okay. You on your way? Okay. It's like, I think about like 5 o'clock. Hold on, let me see the time. Hold on. See what time it is. Hold on. Oh, it started at 5:30. It started at 5:30. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up by the time because it started at 5:30. So okay. 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 Yeah, next day off, I think Monday I'm gonna go see Chuck. I was supposed to go see him this week, but I know it's busy. I'm gonna go holler at my father. But yeah, okay. Well, I'll see you soon. I bet. You too. But yeah, let's see what's going on here.
President Trump's fixation with Greenland is riling Europe, and it's taking a strange turn. Trump tells Norway's prime minister his stance on Greenland is tied to the decision not to award him the Nobel Peace Prize, saying he's not longer, quote, obligated to think purely of peace. On Saturday, Trump announced a 10% tariff on 8 nations that support Greenland against American intervention. European markets getting hammered today as Euro leaders are poised to retaliate against Trump. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is among those criticizing the president.
Alliances endure because they're built on respect.
Look at that nigga. He look like he's from the UK. Look at that nose.
And partnership. Not pressure. That is why I said the use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
Trump is demanding a deal to buy Greenland, but U.S. lawmakers say such a purchase is unnecessary. Greenland is key to Trump's national security plan.
It's so easy to become a podcaster with Riverside. You just need a...
Yeah, man, leave them people alone. Anyways, no watch. I'll do a reaction.
This is the Premier League, where
What? Open carry in Minnesota? Goddamn. Are you lying?
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Ice is on the ground in Minnesota, and so is ice. We got a white man, an armed white man, who says he's ready for ice and anybody else who tries to come into his neighborhood kicking up dust. Man said, this is my block. I don't go to anybody else's block starting trouble, and they better not come to my block starting trouble.
Oh, Lord.
Who they are. Yeah, fam. Check it out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotta see this, y'all.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Ice is on the ground in Minnesota. Quick turn.
I don't go into
my block. I don't go to anybody else's block starting trouble, and they better not come to my block starting trouble. I don't care who they are. Yeah, fam. Check it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you live in the neighborhood?
Yep, this is my block, this is my area. I don't...
Yeah, he got something wrong with him.
I wasn't trying to intimidate them. I protect my people.
Are you giving out your name?
No, I'm okay with that. Our neighborhood's showing up.
You guys had a lot of people out here, right?
At least 30 or more.
Yeah.
40 or 50.
That's pretty good for a quick turnout.
So it's pretty good for a quick turnout. Now,
is there anybody else with him? Is there anybody else with him? Is he by himself? He looking all around, all paranoid. Somebody, if it was, somebody gonna sneak up and they're gonna grab your gun. And it's gonna be a fight. And I don't think you're gonna win. The way looking around, somebody's mama, somebody need to come get their son. He's gonna die. But he's the right color. He's the right color to be doing something like this. That's like where I stay at right now in this little town, raggedy town called Roxana. If a white man come out there the same way he was, he might get away with it. Might. But I know for sure in hell, me anywhere out there, you had kids going down the block, walking down. I know he's not blocking nobody, not bothering, but the same thing with me. If I'm just holding it out there and I'm talking about what he's talking about, I'm talking about the same scenario. It wouldn't go well for a long time at all. It wouldn't. I think it'd be quickly. This would not be wise for my well-being. But he can do it, and this is what he's standing on. I'm about to understand, where's everybody else? Is there anybody else with guns? Is it just him? Because this gives me the notion that this man might be off. Because he's going the extra mile to make himself look crazy. He the right color.
Now, I gotta say this, fam. There has been a lot of claims lately of provocateurs popping up in Minnesota and other parts of the country who appear to be for the people, right? And they're making inflammatory comments towards law enforcement and ICE and anybody else that's looking for trouble.
I always heard about
They're
that.
saying like, we ready.
I always heard about like they had people coming in, like a lot of these people, even when the shit with Brown and the riots in St. Louis and Ferguson, when all that shit was happening. A lot of people wouldn't even be from there, or from the neighborhood. I feel like a lot of people was going there to create, and it was robbing and doing a lot of stuff wouldn't even from there. Like, and on several occasions I've heard for it to be a thing that people will sit there or come there outside to cause, oh, let's go to the right. It's the event. Throwing their masks, going down there. They're really not there for the actual cause of change. They're actually there for the chaos. Because this is free chaos to feed them. Because they're the type of people. And it's not. And to them, this is just merely a part of entertainment and thrill-seeking serotonin nonsense booster. So,
we're here to defend the people, and we're here to defend ourselves, our Second Amendment rights, and the Constitution, and all of that stuff, man. We're ready to squat. Ready for it. And there are some people that people are saying who are ops. They said some of these people are provocateurs. Some of them are straight up ops who are trying to get something kicked off. Some of them are working for the government. Now, I'm not saying this guy is, but I'm saying that some of these people out here are working directly with the government. I want to send a quick shout out before I go any further to Freedom News TV. I'm assuming that is the people behind this video. That's the name I saw in the video, so I'm giving them the credit. So anyway, fam.
Credit to them too also as well. But yeah, credit to Willie D as well. With that said, I'm gonna move on. That's crazy. Yeah, people keep on keeping on. Alright, what was it? I'm gonna do a body cam video. Ooh! Let's see. Evil girl realizes cops found her disturbing secret. Okay.
It's June. Anything that you ask me to do. I'm not trying to go back.
I was lady, little shorty.
Anything that you ask me to do. I'm not trying to go back home to prison. I'm not trying to do nothing. I did 11 years, sir. I feel you.
A usted ahora lo lleva a migración. Ya, pero yo usted ahora lo lleva a migración. Ya, pero yo tengo un hijo, tengo familia aquí, tengo hijos, no pueden deportarme, po.
La verdad, ustedes se van a ir para atrás a Argentina.
¿Deportar?
This is 39-year-old. This is 39-year-old Shanae Davis. On March 14th, 2000.
Okay, you know what? So
on June 25th,
we're gonna go and watch. Let's see. I'm gonna have to create something where I could and then just make a quick decision based off whatever. Just kind of make it interactional. Let's go. This is 13. We'll watch anything between 13 minutes.
On March 9th, a 10-year-old girl.
Anything that you ask me to do. I'm not trying to go back home to prison. I'm not trying to do nothing. I did 11 years.
So, remember to send the Tyler to daycare.
This is 39. Anything that you ask me to do. I'm not trying to go back home to prison.
I have a toddler. I just To watch nothing bad about a toddler. I got an 18-month-old, 17-month-old. I would do it a review of, not it's just like the mind frame. Just gotta fit up for anything like that. So we'll go with he screwed up. Fresh out of prison, drug dealer immediately gets caught. Immediately gets caught. Then loses his mind. Well, of course, he should not have been doing what he was doing. I'm going to subscribe to you, Sheriff Lamb. Credit goes to you in the video. This is for educational purposes only. The like button. Please follow me. Subscribe. This exceptionally Essex Reactions. Let's go.
Anything that you ask me to do. I'm not trying to go back home to prison. I'm not trying to do nothing. I did 11 years, sir.
Well,
I failed you. You failed me. I failed you, Mom.
Hey folks, Sheriff Lamb here. We got another good video for you. This one's from Blue Line Body Cam. Let's check it out.
This alleged drug dealer went from wrestling with cops to crying for his mama.
Oh man, I want to do one with somebody else is already doing one. Oh, let me find something else, y'all. Sorry about that. Do my own, you dig? Guess I gotta chop stuff up later. Right? Do all that. Okay, so it's about 13 minutes. Find me something real good, baby.
This morning, I heard a really complex case. You know, a person's job has a big effect on divorce. Our new
Dismissing you as a juror in this case, I'm going to find that you're an indirect criminal contempt, instruct the state of Dismissing you as a juror in this case, I'm going to find that you're an indirect criminal contempt, instruct the state of Florida to file.
All right, what's your name, sir?
I'm the Elder.
All right, recalling Mr. Elder. This is case number 250-569-2201. Piece of
Little Dirk's federal case just hit a hole.
This thing is a piece of absolute garbage.
In November 2024, a pair of South Carolina Department of Natural Resources officers planted a fake deer in a field off Cox Mill Road in Greenville County. Then,
anyone else? Anyone else?
Reason why I pulled over 1, okay? Speeding, 2, stop sign back there, okay?
Damn, sorry.
We've all seen dramatic situations where a secret lover shows up at
Auto's the one employee gets arrested for work. Let's go ahead and do that. Auto.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Credit goes to the finest cam. Subscribe to y'all. If y'all watching, except for the Essex Reactions, please subscribe to my channel for more reactions and content. Hit that like button, double tap that screen. Let's go.
What's that? What?
They called you for me. I guess they feel like I was stealing, so they want my ID to do what you do.
Oh, did they?
I'm gonna be right here. I ain't
Want to go in there with me?
I'm gonna be right here. Oh, you want me to?
Yeah, we'll go in there with you.
What was you stealing?
They showed cameras of me putting it in my pocket on inside the store, but I'm like, well, what's the picture of me outside the store once I leave? Well, we can't show you that, or we don't have that. Yeah. So I'm like, well, that's on the one side of the puzzle. Yeah. But I told them, man, y'all they doing their job. it's no hard feeling. That's why I'm not running nowhere. I'm not to make myself look like a suspect. That's why when you pulled up, I gave you my ID.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we'll just let us talk to him real quick. And then,
You want me to stay with her? You want me to go in?
yeah, you can stay here for a second.
Oh shit. So yeah, I got caught up doing refunds with a damn customer. I should have been caught on to that shit, but like I told him, you know, that was I was the fool for not peeping game because I'm way too smart for that shit. But anyway, the customer been coming for months and months and months. So when he would get refunds, instead of him waiting at the register to get the cash refund, he would always come out here like he's installing his own battery. So they see me getting the money, putting it in my pocket, but they inside the store, but they don't show me on the same cameras out, whatever pictures they got. So I'm like, well, how you show?
That boy explaining himself, ain't he?
Show me inside the store, but you don't show me when I come right here.
What's going on?
Well, sir, I'm the regional loss prevention manager. So the gentleman that's sitting outside, probably on his bench.
Yeah.
While he was working for us, he completed these fraudulent refunds of the parts. He returned them for that dollar amount, and then I called the customer. Customer said they didn't do a return, and he took the money. I have it all in color, and kept the money and put it in his pocket.
Okay.
This young lady, she's already gone. But I'd like to file charges, but I can do that, at a later date.
Yep.
But she split the money with him on that transaction.
Okay.
But I have multiple transactions where he did it. And that's his name, Haywood Jordan.
So the person would come in for a refund, you'd give him the refund money, and you would just put it in his pocket instead of...
So a customer would come in, like for example, a battery went out on their car. They came in and they thought they had the battery on the warranty.
Yeah.
So in reality, we're just supposed to give him a different battery.
Yeah.
So he would give him a different battery, but not run it through the system, and then do a return.
Okay.
Like let's say if you came in and said, "Hey, I don't want your battery, I'm gonna go to advance."
Yeah.
So just give me my money back.
Yeah.
So in reality, he should have given him the money back.
Right.
But what he did, he let him take our battery and then pocket the money.
Okay.
So he pocketed the money for about that we can prove about $900.
Okay.
That's that working at your job and making money on the side at the same time. That's what that is. It's never good. It's always a scheme. It never lasts long, boy. You only got $900 and you got caught. That means you finna miss out. I'm pretty sure at least 2 checks you'll miss that $900. Now you gotta go find you another job and fight these charges.
They don't show me outside the store giving the customer his money with his receipt.
Well, why they not doing that?
Every refund, regardless of what it is, if it can be a piece of candy, every refund that is done, a manager have to put their code in. A regular crew member, which what I am, I can't do no refunds regardless of what it is, without a manager putting their code in and approving it. So whatever they had a sit down with the manager before I got here, but as I come in, the manager walking out of the door. So they was like, well, we see her on one of the cameras. We see her giving she did the refund, but she put something to the side and give you the rest. I'm like, well, so what are you asking me? Everything can nothing be done in this store without a manager verifying. She'll tell you, I damn sure ain't flossing no money around the damn.
Good Lord, look at this. What the hell is that? She'll tell you. Good Lord, is that? I'm telling you, fellas, man, it's some cherish. If you got a girl like that, cherish her, man. If she halfway decent, but she treats you better than she look. But she look better than what you normally see on a regular basis. Cherish the bitch. I'm telling you, man. Ain't too many far from it. I'm telling you. You thinking you gonna get you something. You might be able to fuck something better, man. But you're not gonna be able to keep something better, man. You might be able to, don't gamble, but go with what you know. I'm talking about something that's gonna let you throw her, fix your food, you genuinely care about you. So, and I'm telling you. You got him out there looking like that.
If it's like a miscommunication or a mistranslation of anything, we'll figure it out.
I told them everything they needed to know.
Yeah.
And that's,
I'm a store manager, so I know that an employee can't do it by itself. It's to the
Did you tell the other deputy that as well?
yeah, I gave him my ID when he pulled up.
No, I mean, did you
So
tell
what
him
does that
it takes
mean?
2 people to do a transaction?
So does that mean that you gonna be snitching or what? Cause now that you done made it known, if she's confirming it, who the other partner was you gonna give up? Cause you already guilty. It seems like. It seems like they got you red-handed.
For a refund?
No.
Okay.
It just came out as we was talking.
He's saying it takes a manager to do any returns.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you got to put the code in. Just say if you bought this soda and you came back because you want to return it for its flat or whatever reason. If it's a certain amount, like anything over $30 or $40, you got to have a manager have to put their code in.
I mean, but still, like at the end of the day, what's the benefit of bringing the money out here?
I should have been smarter than that. Because if I'm doing a refund, why you ain't stand right there and get your money?
Yeah.
With your receipt. You know, I said that earlier.
So did you come out here and give them the money then?
Every time.
How much was it, like total?
Well, it just wasn't one situation. This was just like, man, we returned thousands of batteries, thousands of anything a day.
Do you have the
This
video?
boy.
I could pull it up.
Yeah, this boy lying and he telling the truth. Which one is it?
It could take a minute.
Y'all think he lying, he telling the truth. What is it? Come on now. Hit me with the number 1 if you think he lying. Hit me with the number 2 for the truth. Number 1 if you lying. Number 2 for the truth. Let's see what it's gonna be.
Okay. And you said on here, was there him admitting to it?
Yes.
That's fine, man. Don't worry about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I can see a motherfucker getting a lick on AutoZone. This look like an AutoZone off Halls Ferry. An AutoZone in North City of St. Louis somewhere. Maybe it's a Halls Ferry right there in fucking East St. Louis somewhere across from BP. I mean, an AutoZone somewhere off. Yeah, in the depths. And he making his on the side, you feel me? You know the people in the area. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, just like an AutoZone in Cape Jackson, East St. Louis, Northside, Jennings, yeah, all those type of AutoZone when niggas here doing things like this. Motherfucking Jennings still didn't give me the motherfucking refund to my goddamn core. My back. So they sent it to the car. You lying here for the fucking Jennings. I swear to God, I never go to the AutoZone to Jennings ever again in my life. Fuck y'all.
Now, give me 1 second.
No, like, I'm not. I f***ed up.
We know. We know.
No, that I f***ed up. Yeah. And now all this that's going on, it's the same person, same situation. Like, it's not this, that. It's always the same scenario. The same person. I don't know the person personally, and they even know that. If you come to me for me to do a refund or anything, I have to put your phone in. There's no way for me.
So I think we have other snitch. You know, this nigga is that either he's that bad of a person and he's trying to wiggle his way to a leeway out. But y'all see what he's setting up for? Y'all heard this man? Listen to him. Listen to what this man said. Look. I don't know what he been. So this man, he's the type that's gonna try to. I'm a fake accountability, just not to take accountability. I'm a fake accountability, just for me not to take accountability type of nigga. That's what he is right there. That he like, I know. You got the money bag yo line going on. I know he full of shit.
know your personal information, your phone number, your name, unless we know each other person.
Okay. You swear everything you've written on this statement is true and complete?
Yeah, it's true. It was just short. It could have been more, but the amount of returns he did since I've been working here, it totaled up to $931. So that was the amount of the batteries that was returned in total.
I mean, so look, man, like, you got to see from our point of view, right? Like, they're still missing $900 something. The manager says that each battery that was refunded, that money was in your pocket 5 separate times, which totals up to the $900. The surveillance that they have, and you admitted to it in your statement.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's what I told her. But also, I told her that, but I also told her that $931, that damn sure ain't go to my pocket. I ain't go home with it.
They're saying otherwise. And obviously, like, the only issue is the severity of the crime. It's the dollar amount is over the felony amount.
That's felony.
Yeah, it's like a felony.
So it's technically grand theft.
And that's gonna be on my record.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's gonna be on your record.
So this is a trespass warning. For
you know it's gonna be on your record. You ain't dumb, nigga. I'm looking at you. No, you what? You're acting dumb. You're being dumb.
Return back to this property, you'd be subject to arrest for trespass after warning.
You're fired.
Like I said, man.
What the hell is that walking behind me? What is this? What is that? She looks like she's trying to be tough with you too. What is this?
Because of the severity of the crime, because of the dollar amount and everything like that, unfortunately, we have to take you down, okay?
Oh, you gotta go down.
Just turn around for me real quick.
I ain't gonna.
I'll let you.
Look.
Just turn around for me.
You know this nigga lame. And he ain't to be trusted. He to fuck. This is your fuck boy right here. How a man gets arrested shows a lot about him. Remember that. How a man handle himself when he gets arrested says the majority of what you need about that nigga. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. Real one, no. Hello.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
Say hi, Daddy.
Hey, Zena. Hey, how was school? Yeah?
Good.
Good? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm finna see you in a little bit, okay? We finna go to your brother's game. Yeah, we finna go to see Ez. Yeah, we finna go see basketball.
Basketball. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. She said basketball?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Say basketball? She's trying to say her friend's name. She keeps saying Sarai? She's Soraya? That's her friend's name at daycare. She's been trying to say her name. And she was showing me her when I was leaving. She goes, Sarai? And she points at her. And then she points at Zena and goes, Zena? That's funny. So cute.
All right, girls. I love y'all. I'm finna finish up, wrap up the streaming so I can be ready once I get here.
Okay, babe. Love you.
All right, ladies. All right. All right. Yeah, brother, your head is in the right position. You know, I understand, man. You a lot of times, brother, when you got a job and you're doing things like that, it's a lot of us are greedy. A lot of us it's not only are greedy, we have poor decisions. Somewhere we made poor decisions, whether we are spending too much money, spending beyond our limits, trying to things that we cannot afford, and we go and make a choice instead of doing extra things to save or extra things to work, doing DoorDash. We're too private for that. too proud for doing extra shit on the side, and then decided this easy way to do it by stealing from the work that's providing and paying for your basic monthly to month needs, and not thinking that if you get caught, the money that you stole, had you not, you would have already passed it. Once you do it and get away with it, it's harder to stop the more you get away with it. And you just lead it until you find yourself in a position like he is. And you know he fucked up. You know he wrong. He's accountability, or he trying to on somebody else. Go ahead and finish this up.
And then we'll handle this and put your hands behind your back together.
I ain't running, man. You didn't have to be rough.
Man, we know you ain't running. You ain't gonna run forward with that belly. Come on now. You got a red shirt on. You're wrong in the first place.
Just check that. Yeah, nothing else.
You just be humble and just go with the process.
Is that a lighter? Oh, it feels like it. I know we're on this side, right?
That's it. That's all I'm.
Appreciate your cooperation, bro.
Oh, man. I should have been smarter.
That's all, man. Yeah, just take it as a lesson. You know, it sucks, but
Damn,
take it as a
so
lesson, right?
I ain't reaped no benefits. No goddamn 900 and what? 31.
Boy, now you're still lying. That's why I don't trust you. I know you're a snitch. I know you're a fuckboy. I can tell where you move. You still ain't trying to plead your case on something you know. You mean to tell me you ain't reaped about it? You go sit here and tell the truth? Only a dummy. I hate people like you. People like you is I try to stay away from. Because I would take you out of here. Males and females alike. I don't like it. I always thought that a person who try to play your intelligence is worse than a person who's straight up and getting swung on. Put your hands on me. Do something. Put your hand. Come on, let's squat out. But if you're going to sit here and play in my face and tell me things and sit there, and I feel like that's a different type of evil. And when I find that shit out, man, the snap that a cancer would do to you when you do that, and they find out, and they've been right, and you just, it ends up in very dark, real fast. Very, you smell jail, you smell prison, you smell death. You just smell domestic battery. It just never goes well. It never goes well.
Yeah.
My hair.
Fine, man. We'll be down there if you're all right.
You're good.
So once he sees the judge in the morning, they'll
That's a
send a
different.
bond. Okay. And then
That's a different looking auto song. What nice, beautiful. Ooh, okay, they got the trees, the palm trees. Oh yes, it's different. Very different.
And then figure
There
out.
we go from there.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I could at least pay. I could have paid him today if he wanted it, $900. Being honest.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she must fuck with him.
Jordan was charged with grand theft after pocketing nearly $2,000 in fake refunds. But
Ah.
even with receipts, video, and his own confession, he still argued with officers, claiming he never took the money. It didn't matter. He was arrested and booked into the Flagler County Jail.
That nigga must be a Leo or something. He must be a Leo. Them Leos, some lying ass motherfuckers, man. Out of all the motherfuckers I done been with, man, I know one thing about a Leo, man. He must be, no, you know what, he must be, no, I'm sorry. He could be a Pisces. Because Leos are not the most lioness I ever had. A Pisces is. The Pisces the most lioness bitch I ever dealt with. Bitches. Because I had more than one bitch to come up with this analysis. I dealt with more than 5 Pisces. I'm a Pisces, Leo, Virgo, Scorpion, getting type nigga. They come my way. Saggies, Capris, and stuff like that come through every once in a while. But my life has been a repetitive people that I randomly meet and stuff that I had or attracted to, or people I just want to fuck. When I learn who they are, they always fall right in the. And the ones who come for me is always Virgos. They fun, but they're too wild, and they lie. They like my fourth or third most lioness. They lie, but it never like they mostly lie. It's not like the lie like the Pisces or the Leo. Their lie is like they're always hyped up and going through shit, talking about everybody. When you finally tell them the truth, you find out they said some shit about you, and Cancer don't like that shit. Cancer always keep it real. Cancer ride, die, beat a motherfucking ass for you, pull up, and we find out it's you because you don't have the understanding or the compassion as a Virgo to understand that level of feeling and sensitivity, because you go around at this one pace, rawr, that you don't get Cancer, and you burn your bridges with a Cancer. That's basically what happens for most Virgos when it comes to Cancer. But the Pisces, them bitches, if you don't have evidence, I'm talking about physical evidence, I'm talking, you can know, you got to have a motherfucker pull up and say, yeah, man, it was you. You know it, bitch. You got to catch this motherfucker on camera and say, look, bitch, and watch how this bitch pour out crying. Then they go fucking, damn me, them motherfuckers might just start blaming you for filming them. And make this about you filming them. Now, it ain't what the fuck the bitch did. The bitch is blaming you for filming her. Now, if you hadn't filmed her, that's the type of bitch motherfucking Pisces is. I don't fuck with her. They are the Pisces are the worst. They ain't taking no truth. They hate truth. Truth is like, they will never. They're the perfect. Nothing happens to them. They never do nothing wrong. How dare you tell me I'm doing something? That motherfuckers, they're the worst enemies when it comes out of that shit. They can't stand it. They have no awareness when it comes out of that shit. Unless you actually show, boom, and they actually get it. They're the worst when it comes to lies, because there's nothing like a person who believes their lies. They're worse. Leos come second because, and I know I turned this to whole something different, but I'm something else because we didn't watch the video. Leos, they don't like to face the truth. They hurt a Cancer in different ways. The fact that they don't like to face the truth is that they'll know the truth, but they'll run from it. So they would run from that truth like no tomorrow. They would skip, dodge, skip town, move away, dance, do drugs, anything but accept or face that truth. That's what they burn with Cancer, because one thing about a Cancer, which is like any other human, we will lie, we'll do certain things, but we have a moral behind what we do. And if we lie and it hurts somebody we care, we're going to admit it. Whether you admit it, when we lose you for life, we're going to say, I'm sorry, I was fucked up, and we will understand every emotion that we caused your ass. And for that, we will say, I'm sorry, and if you never talk to us again, we won't mind. We'll never lead you. Some people will have you believe and never, it will take them a while. You got to catch a lion, and once you catch a lion, and they see it, they'll say, once you get them past that, and they go accept the truth, you can never get them past it. They become a good person. Leos are good. You'll never have to worry about that Leo again, all right? It's just getting them to it. That's like when they're my second. Because sometimes they will burn you so much on not ignoring the truth when you needed them to accept it. So maybe y'all can better yourselves together or whatever. Therefore, Cancer, the energy and the pour out that we give will burn the fuck out. Where once we realize, damn, I had this bitch on me, this or that on me, I could have did this, and we look at it, we start to resent it. When you don't want to resent in Cancer, once we realize the truth that you fucked us over, boy, you done. You cook. You cool. You never. We might fuck you. Might ooh. I'll be. Yeah, all that. I mean, so fucked up. Like I said, Virgo second. Scorpio, man, we get along good sometimes. For the relationship, they're a drag. They're so serious all the time. They're sexy, but they're just so serious all the time. They very like to explore outside the box. They're always talking about other bitches. They be with you. That's why a Scorpio, when they be my side chicks, I gotta stop them from treating my other bitches wrong. Or saying certain shit, They had your back, they got me, you know what I'm saying? And they just want you to pull over to the side. They'll sit in the room with others. But they're gonna blatantly let you know they don't fuck with none of y'all. And cause friction without really, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna, like, they'll lie. They'll definitely lie. You never know a Scorpion lie. You better tell a Scorpion lie. They're very, you usually find out, you know a Scorpio lie. If you usually a Cancer, for some reason we tend to react off of Scorpio. We couldn't go do our own shit after a certain while real quick. We usually find out Scorpio was lying after the fact. We know a Pisces lied before the fact. We just find out Scorpio lied after the fact because this bitch said something I really didn't care because I was already past it. Then I was like, yeah. And you come back and you find out, oh, well, it makes sense. Oh, well. How was Scorpios? They so goddamn. Yeah. My relationship with Scorpios, my best ones were when my homegirls, they were my friends. And we could meet up and fuck, and we go do the wildest shit, and we go boom, boom. They gonna make one thing about it, about their word, they gonna take care of you. They go, you know what I'm saying? When the other bitches don't come through, them motherfuckers gonna come through. But they want their one-on-one. They want their one-on-one with their Cancer. They don't like a lot of motherfuckers. Unlike them, unlike the Scorpio, the Pisces, I want you separate from them. They cool with you when you with everybody else. But don't give yourself to them by themselves because everybody else gotta go. They're gonna drain you. Real talk. Scorpio, they're just so serious about everything. They'll still allow you to have women around. But they are they like their control with, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Usually Cancer cheats on a Scorpio. Because they usually just kills the, like I said, it's just so, they don't like to explore, they don't, something about them makes you want to do something. You know, a lot of Cancer Scorpions, you see it be domestic battery involved or something. Oh, it's something, I can't explain it. But they be cool when y'all friends, though. The motherfuckers will fuck. You cool with a Scorpio, she will fuck your whoever your girl is at the time. And her friend is Scorpio, the one you fuck with, she gonna fuck with you behind her friend back. She definitely will. They have no problem doing that. They will do that. They talk about their friends. They very, you know what I'm saying? Y'all connect with, I'm telling you right now. Yeah, with that said, man. It's almost time for my son's basketball game. Got to hit the East St. Louis real quick. And yeah, I did a reaction to a couple things. I give me a couple clips out of this. Trump. I ain't really do. We got us a cam reaction and I'm right on time to end this live. Hey, ladies. Hey. With that said, great appreciate y'all tuning in for the ones who did. Hi, Daddy. Hey, baby. Hi, Daddy. Hi. I love you. I love you too. Okay, I'm out of here, y'all. Please like and subscribe. Follow them. Tap that screen. Yes, sir. You just made my heart melt.